just 3 short nights ago. GCU Arena was transformed into commencement headquarters, and over 1,200 graduates were able to take the tassel and move it from the right to the left, and that also signaled that the holiday break at Grand Canyon University was upon us for everybody except a chosen few, and some of those chosen few you are looking at right now as the Lopes women's basketball team come back from a rough road trip in Oregon and try to snap a 4-game losing streak. They begin a 3-game homestand to take us right up to Santa next week, tonight beginning it with the Lady Rebels of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Good evening, everybody. Jim Howe welcoming you to the first of 2 holiday week breaks for Grand Canyon University as the spring semester not set to go until January the 6th. But there's still plenty of business left on the docket for Nicole Powell's GCU Lopes. Why? Because there are no more trips scheduled to Oregon, and they certainly don't want any. They had a very rough trip last weekend, and they've had 8 long days to think about the 2 losses that they suffered at the hands of Portland State University and the University of Portland. December 6th saw the Lopes score the first 2 points of the game from the free throw line, and then for the rest of the duration, thanks to 29% shooting from the field, they trailed in a distant 22-point loss to Portland State. Well, they had another chance to kind of get back on the horse Sunday afternoon, just a day and a half later, but it didn't go any better. Yes, they jumped out to a lead. They led 9-6 at one point, and then they saw the Pilots of the University of Portland run roughshod over them to the tune of a 26-4 run, and the Pilots never looked back in winning 73-41. Definitely a common thread for a team that was so happy about the fact that they were one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the entire nation before they left for Oregon, was the fact that they just could not put the ball in the basket, either from 2-point range or from 3-point range. And against the University of Portland, they shot 29% from the field, and they were only 3 of 14 from 3-point range. They made just 5 3-point goals the entire trip. So now trying to snap a 4-game losing skid, and they will do it against a team that has split their last 6 games after losing their first 3, namely the Rebels of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, who make the dot representing Phoenix on the map a destination for the first time ever. And they hope to take 2 of 3 on this current road swing. Both of the first 2 games on the road swing have been blowouts. 1-4 when they went to Pepperdine in the LA area and dominated the Waves 69-44 a week and a half ago. But then this past weekend they went back to the LA area and they took on the Trojans of USC, and that was a rough stint. Much like the Lopes had cold shooting over the weekend, the Lady Rebels gave up the first 8 points of the game. They never got closer than 5 since then. And again, it was rough shooting. That was the tone of the day, as they shot just 32% from the field in that 75-54 loss, and the Trojans shot an even 50%. So both of these teams trying to get out of the gates very quickly, and we hope you will sit back and enjoy the first of this 3-game homestand for your Lopes as they take on UNLV right here from GCU Arena. Starting lineups, all the play-by-play on the way right here on GCU TV.
November is known for Thanksgiving and Black Friday sales. Sanderson Ford is changing Black Friday to Blue Friday to show our support for law enforcement. Purchase a new Expedition with 0% financing for 72 months, plus $7,000 cash back. Save 20% off on EcoSport, Escape, Edge, Fusion, and Fiesta. Similar savings on over 500 trucks in stock. Plus, get a Ring doorbell to help protect your family and our community. Don't miss the Blue Friday sales event on now at Sanderson Ford.
You have a foundation of strong values. You belong where your passions come to life. Grand Canyon University's online degree program in cybersecurity makes it convenient for you to join the newest front in keeping your community safe. GCU teaches you how to secure and protect a virtual environment. Join the growing field of cybersecurity.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
So that they could play to the best of their abilities. And we pray that you be with these teams as they continue seasons, that you would just help grant them success and growth individually and as a team along the way. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Fans, please remain standing as we honor America with our national anthem. The Star Spangled Banner will be performed this evening by your very own Thundering Herd Pep Band under the direction of Dr. Paul Cook. And now, fans, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. We begin with the visiting Lady Rebels. At guard, a 5'6" senior, number 0, Letitia Smith. At guard, a 5'3" sophomore, number 1, Cavi Brown. At guard, a 5'9" junior, number 14, Bailey Thomas. At center, 6'2" senior, number 24, RJ Wade. And at center, a 6'3" graduate student, number 43, Haley Rideout. UNLV is led by head coach Kathy Olivier, assisted by Caitlin Collier, Mia Bell, and Brandon Morrison. It's time to meet your Grand Canyon University anthem! At guard, a 5'6" freshman from Pleasanton, California, number 4, Shayna Holland. At guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Barcelona, Spain, number 5, Laura Piera. Forward, a 6'2" sophomore from Barcelona, Spain, number 12, Paula Balogun. At guard, a 5'10" freshman from Langley, British Columbia, number 13, Tavia Rowell. And at forward, a 6'4" senior from Gilly, Texas, number 34, Deja Daniel. Your Lopes are led by Nicole Powell, assisted by Brad Langston, Taylor Hyde, and Sydney Crafton.
So the two teams introduced here at GCU Arena. The Rebels in red, the Lopes in their home white trimmed in gray, and we're about ready to begin this 3-game homestand, which even though it's mid-December, it is a crucial one for Nicole Powell's GCU Lopes to try and get some confidence back after that 0-2 Oregon road trip. The Lopes come in with an overall record of 2-5, again trying to snap a 4-game losing skid. But Kathy Olivier's UNLV Lady Rebels not much better at 3-6. They started the season out losing their first 3 games and have since split their last 6 games, including splitting the first 2 games of this road trip. And we're going to take a look in just a few minutes at our Sanderson Ford Keys to the Game, but ready to jump it up. Two experienced seniors, Deja Daniel for the Lopes and Rajane Wade for the Rebels, and it's Daniel able to swat it to her point guard, Jada Holland, and it's dual point guards for both teams, Lauda Pieta and Jada Holland, both getting the start in the Lopes backcourt. And this is Pieta looking to lob it into Daniel, and as she did, she couldn't get it in time and change pivot feet, and that'll be a traveling violation on the native of Barcelona, Spain. Rebels in their road black uniforms trimmed in white and red. Quick drive inside and a bank shot up and in, and a nice one by Letitia Smith, who's the second leading scorer on this team. These are two very young squads. The Lopes are one of the youngest in the nation. The Rebels, meanwhile, have 10 underclassmen as part of their 17-person roster. Pieta giving it off for Rowell. Her first shot from three-point range won't go, and it's Smith bringing down the defensive board for UNLV. Here's Wade. Wade, the leading scorer, trying to work on Daniel. Fumbles the ball. It's knocked around, goes out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by the knee of Tavia Rowell of the Lopes. Even though Kathy Olivier, in her 12th year at the helm of this UNLV program, starts a three-guard alignment, don't be fooled. The size advantage is most definitely on this Rebels squad. Pieta, nice move, almost got the inbound steal. Instead, it goes out of bounds to the GCU bench, and the Rebels will now inbound it right in front of there with a minute gone by here in this first quarter. Smith gets it, tries to drive on Pieta, knocks her down, and a whistle and a foul. That'll be a pushing foul called on the Lopes point guard, Lauda Pieta. There are 5 different players on this Rebels roster that are listed between 6'2" and 6'5". And that, as you can imagine, is going to be one of our keys to the game when we talk about it. It'll be a non-shooting foul on the first team foul of the ball game for either team. And inbounding underneath the basket, gets to right Alch, but Balagay, good defensive play, knocks it out of her hands and out of bounds. So already kind of a renewed commitment to defense by Nicole Powell's squad, who were outscored by over 50 points in the 2 games. Here's Right Alch. Right Alch move across the lane, back away from Balagay, and her shot's off the mark. There's Wade trying to put it up, and it's rejected by Daniel. Scramble on the floor for the loose ball and a whistle. And that'll be a loose ball foul on the other point guard in the Lopes lineup, Jada Holland. So again, a non-shooting foul, and this will be the 4th shot attempt inside, but they won't get it off as Daniel swats it away, and Pieta finally creates the turnover as the Lopes are able to escape that time down the floor unscathed. Here's Balagay, who Nicole Powell wants to see some renewed life out of. Really struggled in Oregon. Here's Rowell, fakes the three-pointer, start to drive in the lane, tried a cross-court pass, intercepted by Smith. Here come the Rebels 2-on-1, gets it for Thomas, but the pass was behind her, and that'll be a traveling violation on Kaviana Brown, as Smith waited one dribble too long to try and secure that fast break in the easy 2. So we played nearly 2 minutes, and it's the Rebels with the only points on the scoreboard. Pieta drives, tried to lob it for Daniel, but too high, even for the 6'4", Killeen, Texas native Deja Daniel, and that'll go off her fingertips out of bounds. Keep in mind, the Lopes playing their first game in 8 days, and the Rebels playing their second game in that same stretch. Lopes have not played since December the 8th. Rebels lost Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles to the USC Trojans. Wade on the drive, fake again, bank it up, bank it in. She got Daniel up off her feet not once but twice, and the leading scorer and rebounder on this Rebels squad gives them a 4-0 lead. Holland streaked down the right side and now put on the brakes. Kaviana Brown with the defensive assignment on her. Here's Holland, tried to get it inside, but too much traffic. Wade with the help defense gets the steal. Here's Thomas off for Letitia Smith. Smith will pull up. Thomas backs up, has an open look at a 3 and gets it. And just like that, the fast start is owned by the road team, and Nicole Powell wants a timeout. 7 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and it's UNLV by a touchdown. Rebels 7, GCU nothing right here on GCU TV.
have a foundation of strong values. You belong where your passions come to life. Grand Canyon University's online degree program in cybersecurity makes it convenient for you to join the newest front in keeping your community safe. GCU teaches you how to secure and protect a virtual environment. Join the growing field of cybersecurity.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
2.5 minutes gone by here at GCU Arena in the first of this 3-game homestand, and so far, not good news for the Lopes, who trail 7-0. Let's take a look at our Sanderson Ford keys of the game, presented by Sanderson Ford. And you've already seen pieces of these already in the first 2.5 minutes. It's been a beautiful day in the neighborhood for the Lopes and Deja Daniel. She averaged a triple-double in Oregon despite the 2 losses. And Nicole Powell talked about the fact they want to try and get it into her, and they have been trying to do that. They just have been unable to solve it so far in the first couple of minutes thanks to that sagging UNLV defense. Less reps for Rebs. The Lady Rebels don't shoot the ball very well, but they compensate as being one of the better rebounding teams in the nation. In fact, they average 41 boards a game. So, with that size that we talked about, where they have 5 different roster players at 6'1" or taller, it's going to be a huge emphasis for the Lopes to try and make sure that they sag in and try to box out on both the offensive and defensive glass. And finally, maybe it's cold outside, not inside, and the Lopes, who are now trailing and have the ball trailing 7-0, need to try and get warmed up offensively. They have been struggling from the field each of the last 3 games, and that's one of the reasons why they're trying to break a 4-game losing streak. Jada Holland breaks the press, goes inside for Balagay, but her layup is partially blocked by Rydalch. And the Rebels come quickly down, trying to capitalize with a 7-0 edge. Bailey Thomas, the only returning starter coming back from a year ago, gets it inside. Wade's shot is blocked beautifully by Deja Daniel. And Daniel, who's the leading block shots person on this team, showing why she's already got 2 swats in the first 3 minutes of play. Now the Lopes need points, and they need them in a hurry. Here is Tiana Brown, who checked in during that last stop in play, the Eastern Arizona College transfer, who had been starting, but Nicole Powell trying to shake things up. Holland off for Balagay at the high post. Daniel keeps working inside to try and spring free. Shot clock now at 1. Holland with a desperation 3 won't go, and the Rebels are able to come down with the ball. Letitia Smith already with 3 boards on her ledger. High post is Wade. They get it to Thomas as Rydalch tries to set up. Balagay with a defensive assignment on her. Open look for Smith, but her shot's off the mark. And just like we said a moment ago, Balagay doing a good job with Rowell and boxing out for the defensive board. Rowell brings the ball up, stops the dribble, waits for somebody to come get it. It's Brown. Pieta on the bench. Brown tried to lob it in for Balagay, and once again, the Rebels with their hands up, making the steal. Wade comes down 1-on-2. She'll force the action, and she'll get the shot to go. That's her second field goal, and it's 9-0 UNLV, and the Lopes have now gone over 4 minutes without a point. Holland will call out a set play. Her head coach, 3-year head coach Nicole Powell, with a look of concern on her face across the way in front of the Lopes bench. Balagay, top of the key, lobs in for Daniel. Turns around, starts to spin. Can't find anybody. Gets it for Holland. 7 on the shot clock. Open look at the corner. Brown for 3 won't go. And Rydalch boxes out on Balagay for the defensive rebound. Brown had an open look, but she's been struggling in recent games with her shot. But she's not been alone the last couple of games for the Purple. Drive inside, Wade, reverse layup won't go. She goes down, wanted a foul, didn't get it. Daniel gets the defensive rebound. Now the Lopes want to run. Wade's back up, and it's a 5-on-5 on the offensive side. Brown has her pocket picked. Stolen by Smith, comes down with Balagay to beat, and she'll get an uncontested layup. Smith with 2 field goals, Wade with 2 field goals. Rebels up 11-0. And the home fans, those who are devoted, still standing, waiting for the first points of the game for the Lopes. Here's Holland on the drive. Stop and pop from 8. That one will bound around and off. Balagay fighting for the rebound. Takes it away from 3 different Rebels. Back to Holland. Open for 3! And finally, Jada able to get the lid off that basket for the Lopes. It's 11-3. Let's see if that gets something started for the team wearing the home white. Wade high post, off for Smith. Smith stutter step, spin in the lane, tried to bounce it to right Alch. It goes off the foot of Balagay. No kicking violation, and Holland gets the steal. Cross court for Tavia Rowell. Low block Daniel. One bounce, turn around, put it up. Oh, won't go. And right Alch able to get the defensive board. Rebels want to run. Lead pass for Wade, but she's too far underneath and couldn't put the brakes on in time to avoid the traveling violation. So a turnover will send it back. And now wholesale changes for both teams at the 3:48 mark. Then Livieris will check in for the first time for the Lopes, the leading three-point shooter on the squad, and they would love to get her on track early. Jada Moss also checks in, so we'll set the lineups as soon as we get a chance. Pietta's also back in. She'll run the point guard spot as Holland heads to the bench for the Lopes. Daniel way out front, and the Rebels really extending that defense. Right now, it's Melanie Isbell with the defensive assignment on Piera, who will drive all the way in as she got the first step. Doesn't go, but she's knocked down and fouled. And that's also something that Nicole Powell would love to see happen more often, is seeing her team get to the free throw line, which will mean they're not settling for outside jumpers. So Pietta, the southpaw, to the line for the first time. And the first free throw decides to take its own sweet time before it finally drops through. She will get one more. And buries it. That has been a struggle in recent games also for the Lopes as free throw shooting, as they're down to 57%. But Pietta looks strong there, and now the Lopes have almost cut this 11-point deficit in half. Isbell thought about the three, instead changes her mind, now stops the dribble. Has to get rid of it. Bounce pass, low block. Turning around, and her shot put up by Krista Jackman, but it's knocked away from behind. And that, unfortunately, is foul number 2 on Lauda Pietta. Third team foul of the quarter for GCU, and that will send the 6'5" junior and one of 3 Arizona natives on this Rebels team, Krista Jackman, to the line. And the first free throw is not good. Jackman grew up just about 100 miles south of the Las Vegas area in Mojave Valley. Went to River Valley High School. Makes 1 of 2, and it's 12-5. Rebels with the lead, Lopes with the basketball. Pietta staying in there. She's got to be careful with those 2 personal fouls. Comes around a Daniel screen. Gives it off for Jada Moss. Moss start to drive, double teamed, and now she's called for traveling, and it was Isbell who reached in and made her take the extra step. Moss, by the way, went to St. Mary's High School in the Northern California town of Stockton. 5'10" freshman guard. Bailey Thomas will get a breather for UNLV. And Melanie Isbell will bring it up the floor. She stayed home to play college ball. She's one of 3 Centennial High School natives on this team. Drive inside, shot by Cambrella. Elsie won't go. It's tipped around. She gets another try. That one won't go. Daniel got a piece of it. And here come the Lopes. Pierre with a beautiful move, gets in the lane, give it for Moss, open look, three-pointer won't go. Rebound fought for, Balagay's got it, and then she's tied up. Isbell got a hand on it, and because the Lopes controlled the opening tap, the possession arrow will send it the other way. Carla Balagay is going to get her first breather of the night. And that will bring in Kennedy Shorts, the 6'1" sophomore out of Long Beach. Here is Jackman being covered by Daniel for the moment. Drive in for Elsie. High arching off the glass, won't go. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Went right into the hands of Moss, but they say it bounced on the line last, touched by the Rebels' Carla Jackman. And Kathy Olivier, the 12-year head coach of UNLV, asking why it's not their ball. But here comes Pieta on the offensive set. Trying to shed Isbell. Moss comes out from behind the screen to get the ball. Give it to Vieras. Vieras with a hand in her face, comes around the screen. 12 on the shot clock. Pieta now on the left side, starts right, spins left. Waits for a Daniel screen, now double team. Stop, rifles a pass to Moss. She'll fire again from three, that won't go. Daniel fighting for the rebound, but it's off her hands, out of bounds. And Ed will give it back to the UNLV Rebels. Rebels now with all bench players on the floor at the moment. Ambrielzi tried to get it inside. Alert play by Daniel. Got her hands in the passing lanes, and Shorts comes up with the steal. Lopes defense starting to really make a difference. They just haven't been able to translate it on the offensive end. But Pieta continuing to be aggressive on the drive. Can't get the shot to go, but again draws the foul and will head to the free throw line.
Now into the game for the Lady Rebels. Number 7, Jacinta Buckley. Number 24, RJ Wade. And number 1, Abby Brown. Shooting two for the Lopes, Laura Piera.
So Pieta back to the line for a pair, and now she's a perfect 3 for 3 as she makes the first. With 1:15 left to go in this first quarter. Lopes gave up the first 11 points and have started to scratch their way back. Next one won't go, but the extra bounce gets it to Shorts, and as Shorts goes back up, she's fouled and she will head to the line. And Pieta with the huddle, congratulating her team with the extra hustle. That foul is on Rajane Wade. So Shorts, who doesn't go to the line very often, will get a pair and gets the shooter's roll as it hits on the back of the iron and drops through. She'll get one more, and that one won't go, but the long rebound corralled by Vieras. And the Lopes get another try to cut this possibly to a one-possession game. Pieta, cross-court Moss, high post Daniel, turn, face the hoop, spin, and then turns and travels with the basketball. So with a minute left to go here in this fast-moving first quarter, the Rebels come down with a lineup of Caviana Brown, Rajane Wade, Jacinta Buckley, Justice Etheridge, and then in the middle is Iris Bay. Here is Wade, start to drive, keep coming, shots blocked by Daniel. That is 4 unofficially blocked shots here in the first quarter for the Lopes starting center. Pieta on the drive and rewards Daniel on the other end as Deja will lay it in. And Pieta starting to make things happen, and it's suddenly just a 3-point UNLV lead. And the shot clock is off, and the Rebels want to go for the final shot. They still have 18 seconds to do it. So signs of life from the home team, and the home fans enjoying that. Outside, Brown yo-yoing the ball. Game clock down to 8 seconds. Comes around to pick by Wade, forces up a shot, and gets the roll. So Brown with her first scoring, and the Lopes unable to get it in as the clock hits zeros. But after giving up the first 11 points, GCU finishes strong, scoring 9 of the last 12. 5-point game at the end of 1. Here from GCU Arena, it's the Lady Rebels of UNLV 14, your GCU Lopes 9. Right here on GCU TV. Well, get the best gear to show off your Lopes pride. Go to lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel to the coolest accessories. And you can use the promo code GCUTV25 right now and get 25% off for just being a GCU TV viewer. So those last-minute holiday shoppers, you've got your chance. Again, use the promo code GCUTV25, get 25% off just for being a GCU TV viewer and getting your favorite Lope their favorite apparel. Let's paint the Valley purple. Lopes up with the Lope Shops. Laura Pieta leading the charge despite playing with 2 personal fouls. Going to the free throw line and kind of setting the tone offensively, aggressively for the Lopes. And as a result, they're back within 5. Keep in mind, this is the first of 3 games on this home schedule for the rest of the 2019 calendar year. Thursday night, also at 6 o'clock, it'll be the Lady Gauchos of the University of California, Santa Barbara. And then the Lopes will finish it off Sunday afternoon at 2 as they'll take on Whittier College out of Orange County. And the Lopes would love to get healthy before conference play starts on the 4th of January. Second quarter ready to get underway, and UNLV will get the basketball to start it off. But now, not sure about that. The last possession was owned by UNLV on the held ball. But apparently they're going to let it stand. So UNLV comes back out with a lineup of Buckley, Wade, Etheridge, and Bay. And the 5th person in that, Jacinta Buckley, winds up dribbling it off her foot in the corner. So again, the Lopes defense starting to make a difference. And Nicole Powles-Brown not quite as furrowed as she stands in front of the Lopes bench. Jada Holland back in there at the point for the Lopes as she breaks the press, gets it up for Venla Vieras. Here's Kennedy Shorts. Now for Holland, come around a screen. Cross-court pass for Vieras. Thought about the 3. Drive in the paint, stop the dribble. And now a 3-second lane violation called on Deja Daniel as the Lopes kept going back and forth, but couldn't work it inside. So the Lady Rebels trying to take advantage of the turnover. High post, here's Buckley. Give it off for Isis Bay. Bay, one of 7 freshmen on this Rebel squad. Start the drive, put it up off the glass and get it. Bay with the right hand going against her body and gets her first field goal off the bench. Back to a 7-point Rebels lead. Holland quickly draws the defense out for Jada Moss. Cross court, here's Vieras. Vieras comes around a Daniel screen. Back for Moss, gets it for Daniel. Daniel bumping with Wade, double team, gets it to the open person. That's Holland for 3. That one looked good, but a little too hard. And Wade comes down with a rebound. She averages a double-double on the season, 14 points and 10 boards. Low block. Now they get it out front. Open look for Brown. 3-pointer, got it. And it's back to a double-digit lead. Brown with her second field goal. And after the Lopes had cut it down to 3, it's a 7-0 run by the team from Vegas. Holland will call out a set play. Waits for Vieras to start to move. Gets it for Shorts. Turnaround, 15-footer. Misses the iron. And the rebound belongs to Isis Bay. Make that Justice Etheridge. Etheridge, the 5'9" sophomore and one of 3 Centennial High School alums from the Las Vegas area. Here's Wade. She'll take the shot. That one's too hard. And Moss in perfect position to bring down the board, but then has it knocked away as she comes out of backcourt. Shot by Brown, too hard, goes out of bounds. And the Lopes dodge a bullet as that went off of Buckley. Bay made the steal, but then when she got it to Brown, Brown with too much of a full head of steam, hit it too hard off the glass. So the Lopes trying to take better care of the basketball. And pressure defense put on in the backcourt by the Rebels guards, but Holland able to get it across the time stripe. Comes around a Daniel screen. Here's Vieras. Vieras has not put up a shot yet. Daniel at the high post. Here's Moss. Moss start to dribble drive. Back away, put it up from 8. Nice shot. Kennedy Shorts. Make that Jada Moss. Was able to draw the defense and get just enough space to get her first field goal. And that stops that string of 7 unanswered by UNLV. Brown, top of the key. Open look for Bay, puts up the 3, too hard. Rebound down to the lap of point guard Jada Holland. Holland waiting for her teammates to catch up and get set. Holland starts to back away. Wants Deja Daniel to set a screen. Drive around it, stop at the free throw line, inside for Daniel, knocked away. Deja wouldn't let it go and gets it back. Nice play. No reset on the shot clock. They still have 9 seconds to get it up. Holland to the left side with the dribble. Rifles a pass for Moss. Here's 3 on the shot clock for Daniel, and she has it knocked out of her hands, and the scramble on the floor allows the shot clock to elapse. And a turnover will send it the other way. Tavia Rao back into the Lopes lineup. Both teams have been substituting at will, although Daniel has been in there for the entire 13 minutes plus. Rebels with the basketball. Letitia Smith back in there at the point, along with Bailey Thomas. Give it for Wade. Here's Smith. Come around the screen, keeps coming, stutter step, shot too hard off the glass. Nothing but white jerseys underneath. Boxing out for the defensive board, it's Daniel with another one. Holland in the corner, open look, Rowell for 3! Rowell immediately off the bench, gets her first field goal, and it's back to a 5-point deficit as the Lopes continue to chip away. Out front is Thomas. Off for ice is Bay. Make that Justice Etheridge. Inside, here's Wade. Move in on Daniel. Fumble the ball, and it will bounce out of bounds. Wade got Daniel up in the air, but lost sight of the basketball. And you see Nicole Powell calling out signals to her team. Again, full court defensive pressure as the Lopes moving from left to right across your GCU TV screen here in half number 1. Smith with the defensive assignment on Holland, and then as Holland with the stutter step fake, Smith reached in and got part of the body, and that will cost Smith her first personal foul. That's the first team foul of the second quarter for either team, so a non-shooting foul as the Lopes have it out front and a fresh 20 on the clock. Lob inside, but they were waiting for it as it was deflected and stolen by Wade. Here comes UNLV. Etheridge will back away, off for Letitia Smith. Back for Etheridge. Low block pass for Wade. Move in on Daniel. Double team, fake. Put up the shot, knocked away from behind by Holland. Scramble on the floor, held ball, coming the other way. And the weak side help by the Lopes has certainly made a difference in this first half. So the possession arrow favors GCU as Haley Rydaltz, the starting center, reports back in.
Back into the game for GCU.
And that will prompt Nicole Powell to get Carla Balagay in to match up with her. Keep in mind, Deja Daniel also getting her first breather of the evening. So it's a lineup of Laura Pieta, or make that Tavia Rao, Venla Vieras, Kennedy Shorts, Carla Balagay, who's now at the center spot, and Jada Holland. Rowell trying to get it to her point guard, but Smith badgering her. Finally, Jada able to get the ball. 12 on the shot clock, covered by Rydaltz in a switch. Can't get it to Balagay inside, instead give it to Rowell. She'll drive all the way in, pass 3 different Rebels, shot won't go. Shorts is underneath, she'll follow, that one won't go. Rowell able to tip it to Balagay. And the Lopes will have a third opportunity. Rowell alone for 3, won't go. Balagay one-hands the offensive board to Vieras. And once again, the Lopes with a reset on the shot clock. Holland with 10 on the clock. 4.5 left to go before halftime. Holland looked inside, couldn't get it to Shorts. Shot clock at 5. Balagay sees it. Lob low block for Shorts. Go to the hoop. Shot won't go. Rebound was down on the floor. Nobody saw it. Balagay got it and then fumbled it out of bounds. But the Lopes certainly winning the hustle battle right now, and that's why they continue to get closer on the scoreboard. Timeout on the floor. 4:18 left to go before halftime. It's UNLV 19, your GCU Lopes 14. Keep it here for more exciting Lopes women's basketball on GCU TV.
I'm Courtney, and I'm earning a master's online at GCU in Christian ministry. My husband is in the military, so we move a lot. I really wanted a school that would support me no matter where I lived, and GCU was a great fit for that because although it's a rigorous program, I really enjoy that I get to do it on my time. Sometimes that's at a coffee shop, sometimes it's in my office. Faith is a big part of my life. I play violin in my church, and I get to express my gifts and worship God. I pray continually, and I just really try to seek God. I really wanted to go to a school that could highlight that and worship God freely, and GCU definitely gave me the platform to do that. Being an online learner at GCU, I've really made a personal investment in my own life that is giving me such confidence to go into my field, not only to become an expert, but be a change agent for the world.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Back here at GCU Arena, UNLV with a very deep roster, but a very young one. They have 17 officially listed on the roster, and 10 of them are underclassmen, including 7 freshmen. So not surprisingly, in their first 9 games, they have been relying heavily on their senior leadership. They have 4 seniors listed on the squad, and 3 of them used heavily. And they, not surprisingly, are their leading scorers on the season. Rajane Wade averages over 14 a game, Letitia Smith a dozen. And then Haley Rydalch, also 3rd on the squad. UNLV with the basketball, all 3 of those in the lineup at the moment. Here is Justice Etheridge, one of those aforementioned upperclassmen, gives it for Rydalch. Lopes extending their defense. Smith drive inside, able to bank it up and in. Good defense by Holland, but Smith with good body control gets her 3rd field goal. And it's 21-14. Rebels have led for the duration. They've led by as many as 11. Lopes have gotten as close as 3. Here's a pass knocked away from Short. Scramble on the floor. Kennedy able to rip it out of the hands of Etheridge. Lopes get the basketball. No reset on the shot clock. Rowell will scoop it to Holland with 8 to get a shot up. Back for Rowell. Open look. Left arc for 3! And Rowell finding the range for the 2nd time behind the arc. And the lead is 4 for UNLV. Lopes keep on coming as we near the 3-minute mark of quarter number 2. And a good one so far from GCU Arena. Hope you're enjoying it right here on GCU TV. Smith stopped the dribble. They give it to Etheridge. Etheridge drive on Rowell. Now backs it out. Still 8 seconds to get a shot up. Drive inside. Knocked away, and a traveling violation called as Iris Bay couldn't put the brakes on fast enough.
Checking in for UNLV, number 1, Holly Brown.
Kathy Olivier, who was an All-American during her playing days for the Rebels, now in her 12th year as the head coach, sensing a momentum shift and gets Kaviana Brown back in the backcourt. She's got the defensive assignment on Holland. Rowell now gives it on a backdoor pass for Holland. Can't get the shot to go. Follow up by Ballagay, no. And then the rebound scramble. Holland got a piece of it, so did Ballagay. And they have it again. Vieras fires a 3, bounce around and off. And the rebound goes out of bounds, but last touched by UNLV. And again, crashing the boards and making a difference in the passing lanes has made all the difference right now for Grand Canyon. 2:37 left to go. Fresh shot clock for GCU. Vieras gets it on the side for Ballagay, and then Rydalch trying to tie her up. Instead gets part of the arm and is whistled for her first personal foul. Fouls have not been a factor on either team. As a matter of fact, Pieta has 2, but nobody on either side of the ledger after that has more than 1.
Number 15,
Jada Moss will check back in. Vieras will get a breather, and Moss will handle the inbounding duties to the right of GCU's own basket, and instead throws it away. Thomas able to get the inbound steal. Smith wants to press it out of backcourt, comes coast to coast, throws it up with the left hand, won't go. Follow up is good by Iris Bay. One of the few times that the Lopes defense caught napping. Now Holland trying to answer back as she comes quickly up. Bounce pass, low block for Shorts, can't get the layup to go. And then as Shorts tries to reach in, Bay swinging the elbows after she got possession, knocked Shorts down hard. Good sportsmanship by Bay to lend a hand to get her back up.
Now entering for UNLV number 2, Andrea Elsie.
They have not announced a foul as of yet. I believe it would have been on Shorts.
Now in the game for GCU number 34, Deja Daniel.
Shorts heads to the bench. Deja Daniel got about a 5-minute breather And she's back up for the final 2:10. Rebels with the basketball, leading by 6. Out front is Cabrera Elzy, and now it's dribbled off the foot of Smith on the pass. So another UNLV turnover. That's already 7 for UNLV. Holland is going to slow it up. Covered by Elzy out front. Drive inside. Daniel's shot is blocked. Fighting with Rydalch to get it back, and now it's a tie-up between Elzy and Daniel. Deja, I think, wanted a foul, didn't get it. And the possession arrow favors UNLV. Inside of 2 minutes left to go before the half. Elzy now playing point guard off for Letitia Smith. Now they try to get it on the side for Elzy, and Holland made up the ground and knocked it into her own bench. 20 on the shot clock. A minute 32 left to go in quarter number 2. Smith looking to inbound. Bounce pass for Elzy. Back for Smith. They want to run a set play. Comes around a screen by Rydalch. Keeps coming. Sheds Rowell. Puts up a short jumper. Won't go. Rebound. Balagay had it. Lost it. Bay got it. But as she turned around, she stepped on the out-of-bounds line. Yet another UNLV turnover. Pressure put on in the backcourt. Holland double team, trying to dribble away from it. Now the pass off the hands of Moss. Smith got a piece of it. Elzy comes away with it. Gets it. Low block for Smith. Good passing. Elzy out front, drives on Moss, and that shot is swatted away by Moss out of bounds. Moss doing a good job of making up the ground. 58.8 seconds remaining.
Returning for UNLV, number 22.
And Olivier wants to get her leading scorer, Rajane Wade, back in for that final minute as Rydalch will sit down. Smith will inbound it to the left of her own bucket, still with 20 on the shot clock. Gets it on the side for Elzy. Waits for Smith. Smith running the show, starts right, now drives left, puts up an off-balance shot, won't go. Looked like Holland might have gotten a piece of it, and Jada controls the board. Let's see if the Lopes try to go 2 for 1. There's 20 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Rowell, as they go into the weave, hands off for Moss, back to Holland. Shot clock at a dozen. Holland now finds herself alone, open from 14, but it won't go. Wade with a rebound, and now the shot clock is off. Rebels can go for the final shot of the half if they want to. And that's what Kathy Olivier, the 12-year head coach with arms crossed in front of her bench, says, let's do. 13 seconds left to get a shot off. Elzy now being pressured, gets it high post for Wade. Here's Bailey Thomas, down to 6, now 5. Here's Wade, low block, start right, spin again, put up the shot, won't go. Rowell with the defensive rebound, and that's the way this first half is going to end. And another strong finish to a quarter by the Lopes. But still a 2-possession game as both teams head to their respective locker rooms. 20 minutes down, 20 minutes left to go. And we will take a break, and we'll come back with our halftime stats. Hope you're enjoying it, and hope you'll stick around for half number 2, which is on the way. Halftime here from GCU Arena in the heart of Phoenix, the Valley of the Sun. Here's your score. The Lady Rebels of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas 23, and your Grand Canyon University Lopes 17. Stick around for more exciting women's basketball, Lope style, right here on GCU TV. Back and forth they have gone for the first 20 minutes. Lopes trailed 11-0 at one point, got as close as 3, trailed by 5 points at the end of 1, and then just kept trying to chip away. They got as close as 4 in that second 10 minutes. But as we get ready for the second half, it is a 6-point, 23-17 lead by the visiting Rebels of UNLV. Lopes trying to snap a 4-game losing skid. And the Rebels, who have split the first 2 games of this road trip, winning at Pepperdine and then losing on Sunday at USC, trying to get 2 out of 3 in the road swing. Well, it's time to check out the upcoming schedule, brought to you by BSN. And as we've mentioned a couple of times, this is the first of 3 straight home games for Nicole Powell's Lopes team as they try to get back close to the 500 mark. After tonight, they will host the University of Cal Santa Barbara. Lopes and Gauchos this Thursday night. That's December the 19th with a 6 p.m. tip-off. Then Saturday night, it's Dan Marley's team, the Lopes men's team, trying to get back on the winning ways as they host Eastern Illinois. That should be a tough tussle. And the last game for them before the Christmas holiday, that's a 6 p.m. tip-off this Saturday night, the 21st. And then Sunday afternoon, Nicole Powell's team will wind up this homestand with a 2 p.m. tip-off against Whittier College out of Orange County. So a lot of things going on despite the fact it's the holiday break here at GCU. We hope you'll be a part of it. And, of course, you can tune in to every home game right here on GCU TV. And men's basketball fans, keep in mind that before the Lopes get home on Saturday night, they are back on the road tomorrow night, heading to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they'll take on the high-flying Lobos of the University of New Mexico. You can catch that game courtesy of the radio voices of your Lopes, Michael Potter and the GCU insider Paul Coro. That's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. with the tip-off, and you can check that out on radio at 1580 The Fanatic here in Phoenix. Again, Potter and Coro, the dynamic duo, tomorrow night starting at 6:45. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the Canyon State halftime stats brought to you by Canyon State Credit Union. And, of course, the thing that will make Nicole Powell's temples fly out of her head is that turnover margin. But I will say that the Lopes did a nice job of masking a lot of that. Yes, they committed 16 turnovers, but they were also very active in the defensive passing lanes themselves, forcing 9 turnovers themselves. And if they can just take a little better care of the basketball, since the Rebels had 9 steals as part of that forcing the 16 turnovers, then GCU might be able to be a little closer in this game. And you can also tell 2 teams that have not been shooting well over the last week, that has continued. GCU just 5 of 25 from the field. That is 20%. And they're 3 out of 10 in three-point goals. Tavia Rao with 2 of those 3, only shooting 30% from three-point range. Conversely, the Rebels, 36%. They are 10 for 28 from the field. And that's a little misleading in the three-point field goal department, as they've made 2 of their 3 three-point goals. The big one that I'm sure Nicole Powell wants to look at is that bottom stack. Because remember, we talked about, as part of our 3 keys to the game, no Rebs for the Rebs. The Rebels coming in as one of the best rebounding teams in the nation, averaging over 41 boards a game, but they've been out-rebounded by this scrappy Lopes team, 23-17 in that department. And that's led by Carla Balagay, who Nicole Powell really kind of laid the gauntlet down in practice this week and said, I want a better performance from you. Well, she's gotten that. Balagay, who's had the defensive assignment on the 6'4" Haley Rydalch, has done a great job where she has not scored a point, but she does have 7 rebounds to lead the way. And Deja Daniel, who has also not been able to get involved much on the offensive end. She's only put up 3 field goal attempts and has 2 points, but does have 5 rebounds and also has a couple of blocked shots. The points in the paint have been lopsided for UNLV at 12-2, but a lot of that is because of those turnovers that have been forced. A couple of them have been backcourt steals. We're ready for the second half, and the Lopes with the basketball trailing by 6. Jada Holland, Deja Daniel, Lauda Pieta, Carla Balagay, and Tavia Rao, the 5 on the floor that started the game, and they are the 5 on the floor right now. Low lob pass for Daniel, double team, out for the open Holland, who will bury the 3! And Holland makes the 4th three-pointer of the night for the Lopes, and suddenly it's a one-possession game. This is the closest the Lopes have been since the early going. Here is Rydalch moving in. Hook shot over Balagay, rolls off, and there's Daniel to pick up rebound number 6. Here come the Lopes with a chance to make it a one-point game or maybe even a tie with a 3. Holland take the dribble to the left side, waits for a Balagay screen, hands off for Rowell. Rowell gave him a spark with a pair of three-pointers in that second quarter. Now to Pieta, shot clock at 9. She will drive, gets the first step on Smith. Bank shot, puts it up and puts it in. Score it, count it, foul. Send Pieta to the free throw line with a chance to tie. Pieta got the first step on Smith. And by the time the help defense came over, Wade was inside the circle and Rajane picks up her second personal foul. So Pieta, who is 3 for 4 from the free throw line tonight, will go to the line to try and capitalize on the three-point play, but it's short. Gets her own rebound, and she scores. And everybody in the building fell asleep. And Pieta had an uncontested lay-in, as everybody, I think, was expecting it was a 2-shot foul. And for the first time tonight, the Lopes have the lead at 24-23. And Wade, contested shot doesn't go. Credit the defensive Daniel. Here come the Lopes, who have come out firing to start this second half. Holland, stop the dribble, give it to Pieta. Pieta brings it out front. Bumped by Rydalch. No harm, no foul. Holland with the drive, gets the first step, scoops it up and in. Holland now with 8 points, 5 of them here in this third quarter, and the Lopes extend the lead. They've started out this second half on a 9-0 run. Brown hands off for Letitia Smith. Smith, the leading scorer on this team, with 6 points in the first half. Here's Wade, open look from 8. Don't give her that, but the shot rolls off, and the Rebels have come out cold to start the second half. Holland with a rebound. Jada will bring it out of backcourt, hands off to Pieta. Here's Tavia Rao, couple of steps behind the arc. Doesn't want the shot. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. 2.5 minutes gone by here in quarter number 3. Nice pass, low block, fake by Balagay. Puts up the shot, won't go as the defense came late. And Balagay will head to the free throw line on personal foul number 2 on starting center Haley Rydalch.
Her second. At the line for GCU, shooting 2, number 12, Carla Balagay.
Kathy Olivier, sensing stagnancy amongst her team, will get Iris Bay into the lineup, and Rydalch will take her 2 personal fouls to the bench. Balagay to the line for the first time tonight, and the first free throw's perfect. That gets her in the scoring column. The Lopes, who went scoreless the final 3:40 of the first half, have come out firing to start this second half, and it's a 11-0 run. And the Lopes with a 28-23 lead. Melanie Isbell now in at the point as Olivier tries to shake things up. Here's Tanisha Smith. Spin, put up a short jumper, bound around and around, and finally dropped through. Smith leading the way. She's now 4 for 9 from the field. Pieta quickly up on the transition, and on the pass off, she's bumped and fouled, and that foul will be on Letitia Smith. And so the 3 senior leaders, Wade, Rydalch, and Smith, have each picked up personal fouls in the first 3 minutes. Each has 2. Non-shooting foul. And Holland with a fresh shot clock gets it out front. Out for Pieta. Open look, 3-pointer misses everything, and that will fall untouched out of bounds. Pieta looks at her teammates and says, I had the open look, and I don't think that's one Nicole Powell will quarrel about. Here's Isbell. As the Rebels moving from left to right across her GCU TV screen in this second half. Wade way out on the perimeter. Now for Smith, and inside away from the ball, some pushing and shoving, and Carla Balagay will be whistled for her first personal foul. That'll be a non-shooting foul, so Isbell, the backup point guard out of Las Vegas, will inbound. Out for Bay, now Wade. Trying to draw Daniel, I think, out away from the basket. That's why Wade's out on the perimeter. Rajane will drive, cross court in the corner. Thomas three-pointer, rolls off, tipped up in the air. Here comes Rowell, she's got it. Tavia wants to run, keeps coming all the way, puts up the shot, and wave it off. Traveling violation called on Rowell, who wasn't quite sure when to put on the brakes. And Nicole Powell not happy with that transition. So Isbell in the forecourt for her Rebels. Bay keeps driving, force up a shot, won't go, but she was bumped as she threw it up, and back-to-back personals on starting power forward Balagay will send Bay to the free throw line. Kennedy Shorts, who gave Nicole Powell some quality minutes off the bench in that first half, will check in, and Balagay will head to the bench. So Powell looking at matchups, and Bay's first free throw is not good. Only the third free throw of the night for UNLV. They normally shoot 66% from there as Bay misses them both. So the three-point Lopes lead intact for the moment. Holland out of backcourt, around a Rowell screen. Wants Daniel to go inside. Now Deja comes back out on the high post. Here's Pieta. Pieta start to drive, and on the stutter step, Smith got tangled with her, and Letitia has picked up her third. And already, not even midway through this third quarter, UNLV out of fouls. Justice Etheridge will check in as Smith will take a seat on the UNLV bench with three personals. Non-shooting foul, but one more, and the Lopes are going to the line the rest of the way. Thomas stepped in the passing lanes and knocked that one out. Lopes will get it back as now Pieta looking to inbound in the corner, which is usually a tougher angle. And that one again, trying to get it to Holland, and again, it's Thomas knocking it out of bounds. 5:56 left to go in the third quarter. It's been a great one so far for the home team. Trying to keep it going. Pieta finally gets it for Rowell out on the perimeter. Tavia backs away. Double team, now lobs it for Shorts. Shorts moves in on Bay, puts up the shot, won't go. Rebound scramble. Daniel didn't have the position, went over the top cleanly on Wade, but couldn't control the board. Goes out of bounds, and UNLV will have it. Largest lead for UNLV, 11. That was the first 11 points of the game. Here is Wade driving in on Daniel, trying to get room. That one's knocked away by Deja. Great play to hold her water. Inside to Holland, and Holland with an acrobatic layup and in. Jada had to throw it up to avoid the travel and got it anyway, and Jada with 7 of her 10 points here in this third quarter. Long shot by Wade, not good. Daniel with a rebound, here comes Pieta. Lopes trying to best that 5-point lead. It's their biggest. Pieta, no-look pass and fooled everybody, including the receiver. Kennedy Shorts as it goes through her legs out of bounds. Turnover number 18 for the Lopes, as opposed to 9 for Nevada, Las Vegas. Bay and Isbell will bring it out of backcourt. And as Isbell crosses the time stripe, her head coach, Kathy Olivier, will call a timeout. Just past the midpoint of this third quarter, 4:59 left, and the Lopes are moving. It's GCU 30, UNLV 25 right here on GCU TV.
Curiosity fuels you. It helps you understand the world around you. It's your guide through life. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Change is difficult, but Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. While businesses are being transformed by artificial intelligence and analytics, GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation and make sense of the world. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems and sharing your insights, you're helping to build a better tomorrow for you, your community, and your family. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Well, if you remember those Canyon State Credit Union halftime stats, the top one was the bugaboo for the Lopes. 20% shooting from the field, 5 of 25. But here in this third quarter, a totally different story. They've already doubled their output of main field goals. They're 5 of 7 in this third quarter. That is a blistering 71%. And much of that, as Nicole Powell, the third-year head coach of the Lopes, will certainly attribute, is the aggressive moves inside. A lot of those 5 made field goals or layups. So they are up to 31%, and conversely, because the Lopes have opened up on a 13-2 run in this second half, UNLV's field goal percentage is down to 31%. They are 11 of 35 from the field. And the Rebels with the basketball, now trailing 30-25. Here is Etheridge driving across the lane, gets it inside, but away from the ball. They'll go the other way, offensive foul. Called that time on Anna Blount, who had just checked in for the first time tonight. Setting a moving screen. And so the Lopes will have the ball after the timeout. 4:50 left to go, quarter number 3. Lopes 30, Rebels 25, right here on GCU TV.
I'm Jeff. I'm earning my Bachelor of Arts in Christian Studies online from GCU. My biggest challenge coming back into school after taking a 15-year break was insecurity. Insecurity that I didn't know how to write a paper, I didn't know how to study anymore. The way that the program is structured, I can kind of grow into the classes, and that really gave me the confidence to be successful. I'm a working professional. I've got a job that demands 40 to 60 hours a week from me. Because of the online structure, I can still get things done. I can still have a life. It allows me to knock out courses when I can. I think my time at GCU is gonna help me be a better father, be a better person, be a better disciple. I spent years thinking that I could never do this. So now, the fact that I'm about to graduate, I feel like I achieved something that I never thought I was gonna be able to.
Find your...
Well, we mentioned the upcoming schedule for basketball brought to you by BSN a little earlier, but it's just around the corner as the spring sports about set to get underway. Matt Worley's men's volleyball team, they're laying in the wings. 3 weeks away from their first game, they'll take on Harvard on January 9th in Honolulu, Hawaii at the Rainbow Warrior Classic. And they'll be home for their first home matchup January 17th at Antelope Gym against Park University. Andy Stankowitz's team ready to light it up at Brazel Field at GCU Ballpark for Lopes baseball. They'll start it off on Valentine's Day against Oklahoma State as part of a 3-game set. And Ann Pearson's softball team set to go Thursday, February 8th to kick off the GCU kickoff tournament against the Cardinal of Stanford. Long shot put up. Pieta able to get to the rebound, taps it inside for the open Rowell, and Tavia will do the rest. 8 points for Tavia Rowell, largest lead of the night for GCU. Isbell stops the dribble. Tried to go for the backdoor pass, and getting tangled up with Rowell was Bailey Thomas, and Rowell will be whistled for the foul. That is only the third team foul in the quarter for GCU. UNLV already over the limit. We still have 4:21 left. So a non-shooting foul as Isbell looks to inbound. Does so for Justice Etheridge, who will bring it out front. Hands off for Isbell, almost fumbled it away. Gets it back, backs up, puts up a 3 and gets it. That is only the second field goal of the half for the Rebels, and they cut the Lopes lead to 4 at the 4-minute mark. Pieta with the ball out front, stop the dribble. Plays catch with Rowell. Here's Daniel coming to get it. Give it to Rowell. In the corner, open look, Venla Vieras, but the three-pointer's too hard. Vieras still looking to get into the scoring column tonight. She's 0 for 2. Here's a baseball pass, and it's kicked by Daniel. who was covering out front. No reset on the shot clock. They will just inbound it underneath with 23 seconds to get a shot up. Isbell again looking to inbound, does so for Etheridge. Etheridge waits for Isbell to come out front. Comes around a screen. Out front, here's Iris Bay. Bay to Thomas. Thomas drive on Rao. Can she get a shot up? Yes, she can, and she gets it to go. It'll count, and she's fouled on the play with a chance for a three-point basket. Deja Daniel called for the foul. That's the bad news. The good news is it's only her first. So Thomas trying to make this a one-point game. It was 7 a moment ago. The free throw, good. 32-31, and the Rebels putting together a run of their own on a three-pointer by Isbell, and then a three-point play by Bailey Thomas. Holland in the front court, give it to Piera, wants to drive. High arching shot won't go, and suddenly the Antelopes are cold as that goes out of bounds untouched. And Piera talking to herself as she gets set defensively. Isbell has been running the point for the last couple of minutes and has done a good job getting the Rebels to change the momentum. Out front, open look, Bay from 15, no. Isbell tapping, keeps it alive, gets it inside for Etheridge, and she'll score. Shot off the glass, her second field goal, and an 8-0 run gives the Rebels the lead back at 33-32. Only the second lead change we've had tonight, both of them in this quarter. 2:40 to go, quarter number 3. UNLV extending that defense. Rao comes around a screen, give it to Vieira. Square and fire for 3, won't go. Daniel scrambling for the rebound, saves it. Pieta has it tapped away. Etheridge comes up with it. UNLV basketball. Etheridge into the forecourt, and it's the bench help of Kathy Olivier's Rebels that has made the difference in bringing him back, including Isbell, who will drive, scoop it up off the glass, won't go. Daniel with the inside position. Here's Holland. Holland in the corner. Rowell will square and fire for 3! Tavia Rowell has been the spark plug since the second quarter, and she's in double figures, leads the Lopes in scoring with 11. Lopes swing back out on top by a deuce. Isbell waiting, looking at her head coach to get the set play. Inside of 2 minutes left to go in this back and forth third quarter. Here is Anna Blount, can't get it to anybody. Gives it off for Etheridge. Here's Isbell, drive on Pieta. Keeps coming, force up the shot, won't go. Gets knocked down, and Pieta picks up her third.
Yes, Mel.
And that will put GCU over the team foul limit. So both teams shooting free throws for the remaining 95 seconds of the third quarter as Rajane Wade, who has been kept in check by this GCU defense, checking back in. Jada Moss making her first appearance of the second half for the Lopes as Pieta will check out. Powell doesn't want her point guard getting in further foul trouble. Isbell to the line, first free throw's good. Makes both of them, and would you believe that's the first time we have been tied tonight at 35 apiece with a $1:35 left to go in the quarter, and Isbell will get high fives as she checks out for Letitia Smith. So the Lopes with the lineup of Moss, Holland, Daniel, Vieras, and Tavia Rowell. And Rowell gets it on the right side. Thought about the shot, then didn't realize just how far away from the basket she was. Gets it to Jada Holland. Holland double team, pass deflected. Rowell saves, turns around, fires a 3, no. Long rebound comes out to Holland. Fresh shot clock for GCU. Back for Rowell. Rowell will drive in. Open look, scoop shot, won't go. And this time it's Wade pulling down the defensive board. UNLV with a chance to take the lead back with exactly 1 minute left to go in the quarter. Wade hands off. Here's Bailey Thomas. Thomas now for Blount. Blount will step in, leap and leaner, bound around and off. And Daniel again with the good position for the board. Deja now with 8 rebounds. Holland sees daylight, drive all the way in, put up the shot, wave it off. They say the foul happened before the shot, but again, Both teams over the limit. So Holland will have free throws at the line.
Returning to the game for GCU, number 2, Kennedy Shorts. Shooting bonus.
That foul called on Anna Blount to send Holland to the line for the first time tonight. Jada's first free throw is good to break the tie. Holland, an excellent free throw shooter at 82%. 38.7 seconds remaining before the end of the quarter as Holland makes them both. Isis Bay will check back in for the final stretch, and Blount heading to the UNLV bench. Smith down the left side. Smith maybe thinking 2 for 1, and now has it knocked away. Holland with the alert hands. Swats it away, and Daniel completes the steal. That's now 11 UNLV turnovers. And the Lopes now can go for the last shot of the quarter. They have 18 seconds to do it. Holland playing keep away from Smith. Clock now at a dozen. Lopes continue to space the floor as Holland begins to move. Give it to Vieras with 6. Now 5. Jada's got to do something. Now 3, now 2. She'll try, put up a desperation shot off the glass. It won't go. And that's the way the third quarter ends. But a banner third quarter for the home team as GCU outscores UNLV 20-12 in that 10 minutes. And they'll take a slim 2-point edge to the fourth quarter. End of 3 here at GCU Arena. Your score, the GCU Lopes 37 and the UNLV Rebels 35. Well, you can enjoy coffee, tea, and smoothies from Grand Canyon's own GCBC. That's the Grand Canyon Beverage Company. And even during the holidays, it's open during limited hours in the Student Union as well as Roadrunner and Diamondback apartments. But you can also get it online. Again, coffee, tea, and smoothies from Grand Canyon's own Grand Canyon Beverage Company, located not only in those 3 places, but also inside the GCU Hotel as well. Well, the Lopes led by their 2 point guards, again scoring 20 points in that third quarter, and the combination of Pieta and Holland responsible for 13 of those 20 points. And Holland now leading the way in scoring for the Lopes. She has 12 points, Rowell has 11, and Pieta has chipped in 7 points so far. Meanwhile, defensively, they have controlled the boards against a team that normally averages 41 a game. The Lopes have out-rebounded UNLV 35-24 in the first 3 quarters. Letitia Smith picking up the slack. Smith, one of 2 Rebels who averages in double figures in scoring on the season, has 8 points, but the other one, the lady with the basketball, Rajane Way, with just 2 field goals and 4 points. Smith gets inside and is able to get a shot at short range, and she's now in double figures with 10. And we are tied for the second time at 37 apiece. Holland, Daniel, Kennedy Shorts, Jada Moss, and Venla Vieras. That's the 5 on the floor for Nicole Powell's Lopes to begin quarter number 4. Holland looking to spread the floor and tried to get it to Vieras, and it's kicked away by Thomas. That will reset the shot clock to an even 20 as the Lopes will inbound it out front. Inbound to Jada Moss, and that pass batted right back at her and into the GCU bench. Again, the Lopes with possession in 16 seconds to get a shot up. Holland being pressured out front. Stop the dribble. Here's Vieras with 8 on the clock. Way out front. Now down to 4, down to 3. Here's Holland. She'll stop and pop from the free throw line and get it. Jada Holland with the presence of mind saw the clock winding down, and she's got 14 points again to break the tie. In the forecourt come the Lady Rebels. Isis Bay. Now for Smith. She's alone. She'll fire a 3, but that's off the mark. Tipping for the rebound is Bay, and then as she puts it on the floor, it's knocked away. Throws it back out front. Etheridge has got it. Here to Smith. Smith leans in and puts it up and in. And Letitia Smith starting to warm up. And a timeout is called by UNLV. 8:41 left to go in regulation, and we're all knotted up at 39 between your Lopes and the UNLV Rebels right here on GCU TV.
As a teacher, your calling was always to make a difference and positively impact the future. You live with a deep sense of purpose and strive to inspire generations of change. GCU's online Masters of Education degree program gives you the skills you need to grow and develop your career, while also making sure you have time for yourself and your family. Today, you can learn anywhere and anytime, giving kids a look into the technological advances that pushed you forward. Being strong and compassionate makes you a role model through this formative period in their lives. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders and innovators to reach for their dreams. You're giving them the tools they need to achieve them.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
This homestand, which is going to be 3 games long before it ends on Sunday afternoon, will move from the Mountain West, where UNLV resides, to where UNLV used to reside, the Big West Conference, and the Gauchos of the University of California, Santa Barbara. That will be the Lopes' next opponent right here at GCU Arena 3 nights from now. Thursday night, December 19th, Lopes and Gauchos with a 6 p.m. tip-off, and then they'll wind it up Sunday afternoon at 2, taking on Division III Whittier College. And remember, tomorrow night, men's basketball fans, Dan Marley's team trying to end that losing streak in Albuquerque. They'll take on the New Mexico Lobos, 7 p.m. with the tip-off tomorrow night. You can catch that courtesy of Michael Potter and Paul Coral on 1580 The Fanatic on radio. Lopes with the ball and a 39 all tie. Then Lavieras looking for somebody to give it to. Here's Daniel on the high post. Out for Holland, covered by Wade in a switch. Holland will stop, 8 on the shot clock, gets it for Shorts. Shorts tried to get it inside to Vieras, who was cutting without the basketball, but too much traffic, it'll go out of bounds. Turnover number 20 on the night for the Lopes. Nearly 2 minutes gone by in quarter number 4. Lopes trailed the entire first half and then opened up the second half on a 13-2 run. Bay with the ball out front. Now seeing daylight as Etheridge go all the way to the hoop. Shot won't go. And the rebound corralled by GCU's Kennedy Shorts. Got the first step and got an uncontested layup, but just too hard off the glass. Holland drives around a screen. Kick for Jada Moss. Moss, low block Daniel. She's been quiet offensively, trying to change that. The spin, the bank, the shot is good. Daniel with her second field goal. She normally averages 13 points a game, and the Lopes know if they can get her off and running offensively, it could mean good news. Moss thought she got all ball on the drive by Thomas, but referee Kimberly Hobbs disagrees and calls the foul on the Lopes backup forward. First foul of the quarter for either team. That will send Thomas to the line where she's made her only free throw. And this one not good. Thomas on the season, a 78% free throw shooter. And the free throw is good. She salvages one of the two. And the Lopes with the ball and a slim 1-point edge with 7:20 to go. Fasten the seatbelts. This should be a wild finish here at GCU Arena. Holland gets it inside for Daniel again. Move to the hoop. Shot won't go. Shorts fighting for the rebound. Scramble on the floor, and it will be a held ball between Daniel and Bailey Thomas, and the possession arrow favors GCU. Nicole Powell will get Tavia Rowell up off the bench. And Jada Moss heads back to the Pine. So the lineup right now is Rowell, Vieras, Holland, Shorts, and Deja Daniel. Vieras will inbound it with a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Gets it for Holland in the corner. Holland again bothered by that double team. Now gets it for Shorts, who fumbles once, twice, now saves it for Rowell. Still 10 seconds to get a shot off. Tavia way out front. UNLV extends the defense. Tavia got to get rid of it, and now it's ripped out of her hands by Thomas. Thomas on the break for Smith. She'll stop, put it up, and it won't go. Rebound follow, that rolls off. And Daniel with a rebound, and now a tie-up on this end. And the Rebels will keep it on the possession arrow this time. Things starting to get pretty aggressive inside as Daniel was trying to rip that ball out of Thomas's hands. So UNLV will now have the fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock as the Barcelona duo of Laura Pieta and Carla Balaguer returning to the Lopes lineup. Vieras and Shorts will sit down. So Nicole Powell back to her starting five. Inbound for Thomas. Thomas start to drive on Rowell, sneaks inside, throws up the shot, gets it to go. It'll count, and she's fouled. Just kept on coming and threw up a desperation shot when she heard the whistle. Second personal foul on Tavia Rowell as UNLV takes the lead back. And it'll be Thomas at the line to try and capitalize on the three-point play. Free throw good. Thomas now 3 out of 4 from the stripe. UNLV 43, GCU 41. 3.5 minutes elapsed here in the fourth. Pieta for Daniel, way out on the perimeter and covered by Smith in a switch. Gets it for the cutting Rowell. Stop, doesn't want the shot. Give it to Holland, who thought about the shot and instead lost the handle out of bounds. 21 turnovers for the Lopes. And if they can't rally to snap this 4-game losing skid tonight, Nicole Powell will certainly point at that stat first. Etheridge looking for room, backs up, fires a three short. Long rebound, Holland able to control. Inside of 6 minutes left to go, fourth quarter. Lopes trail by a deuce. Again, Bay now pressuring Holland. Holland keeps on coming, sees daylight, all the way inside for the lay-in. Jada Holland with 13 of her 16 points coming after halftime. And we're knotted up again this time at 43. Out front is Wade. Now inside, Thomas springs free, she'll score. Thomas shed the defender. And the Rebels with a 2-point edge again. Pieta calls out a set play. Powell wants Balaguer to go inside. She obliges. Pieta now to Holland. Low block for Daniel. One bounce, move to the hoop and score. The lob pass from Holland was perfect, and it gave Daniel the room to do what she needed to do. No ties in the first 20 minutes. 5 ties here in the second half. And Holland with a beautiful steal. Rips it out of the hands of Letitia Smith. Holland comes down, pops it from 8, gets it from 8. Jada Holland coast to coast. And the Lopes back out on top 47-45. Past the midpoint of this exciting fourth quarter. Hope you're enjoying it here from the arena. Etheridge comes around a screen, throws up the shot. No, Daniel came over to help. And is whistled for the personal foul. That's her second. Lopes with 3 team fouls in the fourth quarter. UNLV yet to commit an infraction. Melanie Isbell, who made a difference, coming in off the bench in the third quarter for Kathy Olivier's team. Now will replace Smith at the 4:30 mark. Meanwhile, it's Justice Etheridge at the line for the first time and makes the first. UNLV only went to the line twice in that first half, but it's been a different story after halftime. Now 7 of 10 here in the second half as Etheridge ties it at 47. Pieta. Cross court for Holland. Low block, here's Balaguer. Start left, spin right, put up the shot, wave it off. Traveling violation called on the Spaniard. Turnover number 22 sends it the other way. And now it's the Rebels with a chance to break out on top. Ices Bay with the ball. Hands off for Thomas. Drive the lane again. Throws up an off-balance shot. Won't go. Daniel tips it out front to Pieta. Pieta, lead pass for Holland. Go to the hoop. Shot won't go. And the rebound belongs to Etheridge. Isbell sees she doesn't have numbers. She'll slow it up when she comes out of backcourt. Covered by Rowell in a switch. Here is Thomas for Bay. Isbell lobs inside. Holland anticipated well, but couldn't complete the steal as it bounds out of bounds. Weak side defense has been a big story for the Lopes in completing the comeback. They gave up the first 11 points of the game, in case you missed it. We are tied here with 3.5 minutes left. Isbell, stutter step, drive, scoop shot, good. Melanie Isbell got the first step on Rowell and kept on coming. And UNLV with a 2-point edge. Rowell with the ball out front. Waits for Hollins to come get it. Now for Pieta as they go into the weave. Give it to Rowell. Fake the three. Now Etheridge comes back out to cover. 10 on the shot clock. Give it to Holland. Other side. Three-pointer, no. Rebound. Etheridge had it and then goes down. But a whistle and a foul. That'll be a loose ball foul on the Lopes. That one's on Daniel. That is 3. So the Lopes have to be careful. That also is the 4th team foul on the Lopes. One more, and they will put UNLV at the line for the remainder of the game. Here's Thomas way out front. Inside of 3 minutes left to go. Driving is Etheridge. Has the ball knocked away. Vieira's saying, I didn't touch her. And the refs agree. The foul is not on Venla. The foul is on Jada Holland. That is her second. But more importantly, that's the 5th team foul. So free throw time for the Rebels with 2:46 to go. Justice Etheridge, who just made a pair a moment ago, continues that trend as she makes the first. UNLV can yet to commit a foul in this 4th quarter. And Etheridge's 4th free throws right now the difference. 51-47. Lady Rebels have scored the last 6 points. Holland takes the dribble to the right side. Now gets it for Pieta. Stop. No look pass. Balaguer had it, lost it, got it back. Gives it to Pieta. Pieta drives inside. Another pass to Balaguer, and this time she'll score. If at first you don't succeed. Pieta with the assist. Balaguer with her first field goal. 2:18 to go. Rebels with the ball, 2-point lead. Etheridge dribbling out of trouble. Now to Wade. Wade has been very quiet tonight. Here's Isbell around the screen. Drives on Holland. Holland knocks the ball away. Steal by the Lopes. Here's Pieta. Pieta surveying, and she'll stop and slow it up inside of 2 minutes. Lopes need a hoop here to tie. Pieta waiting to get set. Now drives, gets the step on Etheridge. Dish for Balaguer. Sideline jumper is good for Carla. And we are not it up again, this time at 51. 7th time we've been tied, all in the second half. 90 seconds remaining in this one. Thomas comes around the screen. Isbell can't get it to her. Give it to Wade, who will drive. She'll crash in. Offensive foul. And Pieta, perfect place, perfect time to draw the charge. Wade's 3rd personal foul. And the Lopes get the ball back now with a chance to take the lead. 80 seconds remaining in regulation. Holland waits for things to get set. Give it to Pieta at the free throw line. Backs it out again. Stop. Here's Balaguer. Springs free, moves inside. Shot won't go, but a whistle and a foul. And I believe that is going to be 4 on Rajane Wade.
UNLV foul number 24, RJ Wade, her 4th.
So Balaguer to the free throw line where she has made both of her attempts so far tonight. 1:08 left to go in the fourth, and she breaks the tie. Carla, who's a 62% free throw shooter, and up in the average as she makes both of them. 53-51. Rebels with the ball, trailing by 2. Isis Bay out front. Here is Etheridge, double team. Can't do anything with it, give it to Isbell. Pieta staying with her. Shot clock at 14 for Etheridge again. Inside of a minute. Now has to get rid of it. Hands off for Isbell. Driving inside, dishes out front. Thomas with 4 on the clock, give it to Isbell. Isbell will drive, scoops up a desperation shot, won't go, comes out front, and Holland able to save it for Rowell, and Holland is knocked down and fouled. 35.5 seconds remaining. Bay called for the foul. That is only the 3rd team foul for UNLV. So with 5.5 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock, UNLV will have to go on full court defense. Balagay will inbound it in backcourt. And Balagay saying, calm down. Remember, we've got the lead. And now Nicole Powell doesn't want to take any chances. She's still got 3 timeouts left. She will burn one of them right here. 35.5 seconds to go. 30-second timeout. Lopes will take a quick timeout. GCU 53, UNLV 51, right here on GCU TV. Action. Half a minute left to go. Lopes with a basketball. 5 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Lopes holding on to a 2-point lead, and Holland playing keep away out front. Game clock at 20, shot clock at 15. And Holland content to take down as much time as possible. Shot clock at 8. Now they got to move. Comes around to Daniel's screen, shot clock at 5. Holland dribble, down to 2, down to 1. They're not going to get a shot off. 30-second shot clock violation, and now 5.2 seconds remaining, and UNLV will get the ball. And we will keep it here. 30-second timeout called by Kathy Olivier of the Rebels. So each team now with 2 timeouts, a full timeout and a 30. And if we go to overtime, which the Lopes defense hoping to prevent, each team will get an extra timeout. And Letitia Smith is going to check in for the Lady Rebels as they trail by 2. Well, what a second half this has been after the Lopes was looking up and fishing upstream the entire first half. They never got closer than 3, but they opened up the second half with a 13-2 run. Took their largest lead, which was 7 points. And since then, it has been a seesaw battle. We've had 4 lead changes and 4 ties in this fourth quarter alone. Leading the way, a huge second half by Jada Holland. 18 points, 15 of them after halftime. Tavia Rowell also in double figures with 11. And Carla Balagay has had a huge fourth quarter, scoring 6 of her 8 points here in the first 9 minutes and 55 seconds
30-second timeout called by UNLV.
of the fourth quarter. And now a 30-second timeout. An extra timeout called by the Rebels, so they are now out of timeouts. The Lopes have a 30 left. And remember, the possession arrow is in GCU's favor. But also remember that the Lopes are over the team foul limit. So any infraction could send the Rebels to the free throw line to try and tie. Lopes come out with a lineup of Holland, Daniel, Pieta, Balagay, and Venla Vieras, who's going to cover the inbounds pass. Just as Etheridge will inbound, just to the left of her own basket. She looks, she waits, she gets it out for Thomas. Thomas to Bay, back to Thomas, fumbles the basketball. Give it to Bay, fire a desperation shot at the buzzer that won't go, and the 4-game losing streak for GCU is history. The Lopes outscore UNLV in the final 2.5 minutes, 6-0, and come off the deck to strike the final blow. And finally snap that 4-game losing skid. The Lopes now 3-5 overall. The Rebels, losing the last 2 games on this 3-game road trip, will head back home to Las Vegas now with an overall mark of 3-7. Jada Holland, our player of the game, with a huge second half, had just 3 points on 1 3-point field goal at halftime and exploded in the second half, 9 points in the third quarter, and 3 big field goals, including 2 down the stretch. Here in the fourth quarter, winds up with a team-high 18 points. And Tavia Rao, also a big spark plug in the middle quarters with 4 field goals, and more importantly, was 3 for 6 from 3-point range, making the shots when they needed them, finishing in double figures with 11 points. And the Lopes, who were shooting just 20% from the field at the half, really coming on in that second half, going 14 for 25 after halftime and finishing at 38% for the game. And most importantly, 5 of 17 from 3-point range. And when they got to the line, which they did plenty of times in that second half, they capitalized. 10 of 13 free throw shooting for the game. They also did a great job shutting down the leading scorer on the season for UNLV, Rajane Wade, who was just 2 of 11 from the field in the game, finishing with 4 points, 5 rebounds, and also had 4 personal fouls. So the Lopes able to overcome 23 turnovers and are able to get the big victory to open up this homestand by the count of 53-51. Want to remind you that this is one of 4 home games here during the holiday break over the next 7 days for your Lopes, and it continues this Thursday night, December the 19th, as the Lopes women will continue the homestand hosting University of California, Santa Barbara. The Lopes and Gauchos tipping off at 6 p.m. Then Saturday night at 6 p.m., it'll be Dan Marley's men's basketball team back here at home to take on Eastern Illinois with a 6 p.m. tip-off, and then we'll wind it up before the Christmas break at 2 p.m. this Sunday afternoon, December 22nd, when your Lopes women's basketball team will host Whittier College. So again, Thursday night at 6, Saturday night at 6, Sunday afternoon at 2. Hope you will be in attendance right here at GCU Arena, a once-in-a-lifetime event whenever you come here. But if you can't make it in person, you can join us for all of these games on GCU TV. And of course, Saturday night's men's basketball game will also be on Fox 10 Extra. Want to thank our great crew, Hunko Van Sale, Robert Purcell, and Andrew Rangel, for their job bringing you the sights and sounds of tonight's broadcast. And so, until we talk to you Thursday night, we want to remind you to follow Grand Canyon University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. So until we talk to you Thursday night, this is Jim Howell speaking to you from a raucous GCU Arena, reminding you the final score again in a thriller. The Grand Canyon University Lopes 53, and the UNLV Lady Rebels 51. Good night, everybody.